The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com.
Look, I can't help but think that now might be a good time for a little fire and ice. Please,
Oh,
do not
there
know.
is never a good time for fire and ice. What happens when you mix fire and ice?
Warm water, baby. It's bubbling, baby. Warm water. Warm water.
Back like we never left. Mike Tipton, Brandon, the Iceman Cone, hanging out with you over here at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive. Brandon, they still have the all-you-can-eat apps. We are excited about, at least I'm excited about that. You know me, I'm a big fat guy.
Yeah, I mean, times two. We're always excited about that. Is the Pope from Chicago? I guess
There
we're getting.
we go.
I guess I know what we're getting today.
There we go. And along with that, I realized the other day that I have over 5,000 reward points because I put in my number each time that we come here, 5,000 reward points, which means we're going to get 30 wings for free today. So it's going to be a good time for your boys today. I'm going to get fatter. I was at a 5K earlier today, surrounded by people that are in great shape, and I was motivated to just get fatter.
You're like, I'm going to get wings and all you can eat appetizers, and you guys are going to eat air.
Exactly. You guys can be in shape. I'll continue to be in my shape, which is nice and round,
Yes.
or more oval, I think we can say,
Oval-ish.
is what my shape was. Now, the 5K that I was at earlier today, the Sarcoma Awareness 5K, raising funds and doing all kinds of stuff like that to support the survivors and victims of sarcoma. It was an absolutely inspiring day today, Brandon. Last year, there was a child who was in a wheelchair that was being pushed around by his parents. He has now since been in remission and actually got to run that 5K today, which is absolutely amazing to see a story like that, a story of perseverance. I'm always about those types of things here in the city of El Paso. Shout out to my guy, Eric Munoz, who is a survivor of sarcoma himself. He was diagnosed with sarcoma whenever he was 8 years old and has been fighting that battle ever since. Got it 2 more times, I believe, after that, and has been, just constantly fighting that battle. So shout out to him, all the things that he's doing, putting this stuff together, getting out there with Texas Tech, and creating a great 5K environment today. It was just such a great time to be a part of something like that. Now, Brandon, you had yourself a nice little vacation.
Yes. I've been flying here, there, long flights across the pond. I was very lucky to go to Chicago for around 8 days, and then my mom and I took the trek to London. A nice little 8-hour voyage, and London was incredible. I had never been there before. It's pretty much like the New York of Europe. I mean, it's just nonstop people everywhere, terrible drivers. You gotta fear for your life when you walk because even walking across the street is dangerous because they're coming from the opposite side, and you're not used to looking to your right. When the traffic's coming, and therefore they say a lot of Americans get knocked flat on their ass because of the bikers. There's a million people on bikes there, but we did the hop on, hop off. We saw Big Ben. I went over Tower Bridge. I saw where the family jewels were, the crown jewels, whatever they're called. I mean, the crown jewels.
Yo.
If it's gonna be that kind of party,
Hey.
I mean, we had a great time. We did a tour of Windsor Castle. I saw kings and queens' graves, including Queen Elizabeth II, most recently, and it's a very uplifting and incredible experience. See that much history that you've heard of your whole life. It's a beautiful city, and we went on our 7-day cruise to Norway out of Southampton. One of the prettiest, nicest places I've ever seen in my life. I've been lucky to see a lot of beautiful places. Norway is by far up there in terms of just natural, strikingly, incredibly breathtaking beauty. I don't really know how else to, from fjords to glaciers to waterfalls to green everywhere to nicest people you've ever met. One of the most incredible cruises I've ever been on, and I'm thankful for that. And we celebrated my mom's birthday, so I'm very lucky. And then took the long schlep back to Chicago. Another 8.5-hour flight, and then now back to EP as of yesterday.
And it probably took you about 8.5 hours to get from Chicago to El Paso.
How'd you know? Yeah, you might as well have been going across the pond. But no, thankfully.
I'll say one of the few places we have direct flights to, right?
Yeah, I mean, luckily I got the direct flight on Southwest, believe it or not, which goes out of Midway.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was that we were grounded for 2 hours because of severe weather. So that's no fun. But I got home eventually. I'm a little geschluffed today, but glad we're back. I told you I was coming back, and I was excited to see my buddy.
I was thinking about that too. Like, what time did Brandon the Iceman Cone get back into El Paso? Because I know how terrible it is flying out and into El Paso, and it can be one of those. It just takes it takes a toll. No matter where it is you're going to, it takes a toll.
I was exhausted yesterday. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to get in. Luckily, it was a morning flight. We were supposed to get in at 1:50, but as fate would have it, we got in around 4. But then by the time I got home and unpacked and it was 7 o'clock before I knew it, and by 9 I was in bed. I was exhausted, just again flying so much lately, and then today woke up, had a good night's sleep, and was ready to kind of get the world going back again.
Our guy Tommy Carranza saying, "What's good, fellas? What's good, Tommy? Hope that you are having yourself a fantastic day today." Once again, we're out here, Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive. They have the house beer, the $4 Wild Herd, the $5 Coors Light, $6 Blue Moons. I'm a big fan of the Blue Moons. And then Brandon, I don't know if you saw this or not.
What do you got here?
We have where Dew meets Brew, the Mountain Dew Rattler beer.
That's insane.
So it's Mountain Dew mixed with beer.
I don't know if I try that, but I mean, if you like sugar and beer together, then hey, there you go.
I mean, beer does have sugar in it, right?
Like, but then you're adding more sugar. You Mountain Dew that will get you drunk. I like that.
There's a part of me that wants to try it, but I'm also not a fan of Mountain Dew.
If you're not a fan of Mountain Dew, I wouldn't advise. I'd go with one of the other ones that you usually like.
I did like the Code Red, though. I did like Mountain Dew.
Well, yeah, that's regular Do the Do, though, right there. I mean, because Code Red is really good.
We would see that all the time in North Carolina, and the amount of people that were drinking Mountain Dew that didn't have teeth really made me not want to drink Mountain Dew.
Does that say it has a little bit of sugar in it?
Just a tiny bit of sugar. And I got nothing. Like, I clearly, look at me. I'm a big fat F word. I was about to say it, but I had to be nice here.
You could say it if you want to.
I'm a big fat fuck. So basically, what happens here is I got to make sure I can't get bigger or fatter or fuckier. Would that be the term that we would use? Nonetheless,
that's a good term. I like that.
Nonetheless, we got the Yankees game going on right here. The Yankees lost yesterday 12-5 to the Philadelphia Phillies. My guy, Pat Costello, has to be happy about that. Anything that makes me sad is what makes him happy. We have training camps and stuff like that going on as well in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers throwing an interception on his first pass as a Pittsburgh Steeler in training camp. We haven't really gotten to talk a whole lot about the NFL because there's been a lot of other stuff going on in the meantime, but where do you picture the Pittsburgh Steelers being with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback, with the trade of getting DK Metcalf, with getting Jonnu Smith, who was the best offensive weapon that the Miami Dolphins had last year, and that's including Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith was that guy. Where do you see the Pittsburgh Steelers winding up? Because I'm not very optimistic.
Well, I'll take the other side of the coin in the respect that he just got there and he still needs to get acclimated and learn the system. And let's see how he does in the preseason and ultimately when the regular season starts. I still think this is an incredibly deep team and a talented team, and I think that he could make or break them by far, obviously, with the exception of the fact that, his skill set and, of course, the experience he brings in. But, of course, like I said, break them as well. But I still think this team has the potential to make some noise this year. Like you said, they made a lot of big offseason acquisitions.
I even forgot about them bringing in Jalen Ramsey.
Yes, they brought in a lot of good players. And, look, if there's any team that could make it work with an Aaron Rodgers, an aging Aaron Rodgers, it could be Mike Tomlin and the Steelers.
Where do you put them in the division though? Because you still got the Ravens, you still got the Bengals. We can laugh at the Browns.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw while you were overseas the Browns' new helmet reveal.
No, I didn't see that.
It is an all brown helmet. It's called Alpha Dog, so it's brown with an orange stripe on it. They're going to be wearing it with an all brown uniform, so brown top, brown pants that just has the orange, striping and lettering and stuff like that on it. And the best part about it, Brandon, is it's sponsored by Dude Wipes.
That's good.
Are you kidding me?
That's not even a joke.
You're not joking, are you?
And if you go back, I wonder. Oh, I don't have it on this computer. Damn it! I should have had it on this computer. I got it on my other computer. I played the video clip the other day. They're on Lake Erie because Cleveland, Lake Erie. It's right there.
Sure.
They're on this little barge and they have the big inflatable helmet. And as they are unveiling this helmet, they have one of their social media people on the barge walking, and you just see him misstep because he doesn't realize where he's at. He's not paying attention and falls right into the water. And whenever you look at, the angle, like the other angle, because you're looking at like a higher up angle, you see him fall, you get the splash. When you look at the angle where it's direct on, you see the Cleveland Browns mascot, the dog, and the Dude Wipes mascot, which is just a pack of Dude Wipes, panicking about this guy that fell into the water because it's not supposed to happen that way. And the Cleveland Browns mascot, luckily for the dude that fell in the water, was nice enough to throw him one of those flotation devices. But, geez, man, you talk about just everything about it being as comedic as it possibly can be. An all-brown uniform for the Cleveland Browns, sponsored by Dude Wipes, and you mess up the unveil by having your social media guy fall into Lake Erie.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but I find that to be extremely Cleveland Brownish. Let's just put it that way, the way this particular franchise is, and why is it not surprising me? But I'll tell you what, that is like hilarious. That is just amazing.
And they're going to wear that uniform 3 times this year. 3 times this year, they're going to wear that all brown, just as Destiny said, shit streak uniform. They're going to be wearing that on the field. And I get it. Like, you got to do like the alternate. I don't know if you saw the Pittsburgh Steelers alternate. It's like the reverse of the Bumblebee. There's more yellow instead of black on this one now. But it's insane looking at some of these alternate uniforms that these teams are coming out here with. And I couldn't think of a worse. Just brown.
Yeah, brown. That's bad.
Yeah,
that's
like
bad,
you could like the orange uniform would have been better. Like,
yeah,
I associate
orange
with the Cleveland Browns.
Of course, yeah, much more than brown. I mean, it's funny because brown is, I don't know, it's just obviously not the most appealing color for and maybe an NFL team, but to me it reminds me of like their other logo where they had that elf at the 50-yard line. It's like what kind of crap do you guys like envision? It's like,
Brownie the elf.
It's like you have to have clever marketing, not ridiculous marketing, right? Or am I wrong there? I mean, it's like
I like in my veins inject this, please. I need the Cleveland Browns, whenever they wear that all brown uniform brought to you by Dude Wipes,
yes,
to have Brownie the elf at the 50-yard line with a Dude Wipes bag under him, just because we need that comedic. Like they're going to be a bad team this year, right?
Yes,
We started this talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they're all going to line up in the division. The Browns are going to be a bad team this year. They have 5 quarterbacks. They don't know who the quarterback's going to be. They don't know who the quarterback's going to throw the ball to. I would challenge you to name one Browns wide receiver right now. There you go.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. That's a great question.
I think their best wide receiver is Donovan Peoples-Jones, and he might not
Peoples-Jones,
even be on the team anymore.
Peoples-Jones,
I
yeah.
have to go through and look. They've got David Njoku.
Obviously, Cooper's gone.
Yeah, Amari Cooper's gone. Oh man, could you imagine Cooper with dude wipes? That would have been great.
That would be wonderful.
You could have called him the Pooper Cooper. I'm an idiot.
Yes.
I might be one of the dumbest people of all time now that I think about it.
I mean, you're up there.
I'm waiting for the traditional broadcast announcer to say, brought to you by Dude Wipes and by
I can't. Like this
Laxatives.
by X-Lax. Brought to you by X-Lax and Dude Wipes. One goes with the other.
like peanut butter and jelly. They both go together.
It's so insane to me that this is the marketing of an NFL team. I think we spent more time on the Cleveland Browns than what anybody should spend on the Cleveland Browns this year. They're going to be bad. Going back to Pittsburgh, you've got Baltimore, you've got Cincinnati, you've got Pittsburgh. I cannot see Pittsburgh being better than those two teams.
No. I definitely think that those two teams will be the creme de la creme in the AFC North. And certainly that'll be an uphill battle for Pittsburgh. I'm just thinking that, you could sneak in if Aaron Rodgers does somehow get his groove going, though, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, because he knows this is his last hurrah.
But is that like, if you're a Steelers fan, is that what you want? Because I feel like you've been raking Mike Tomlin over the coals with, we've only been this, just above 500 team. We've never had a losing season with Mike Tomlin, but we've been just above 500 the entire time that he's been the coach. They're not a Super Bowl contending team.
No,
not even with Aaron Rodgers.
I do not think they're a Super Bowl contending team.
But so it feels like a waste of a season.
You never know. I mean, you have injuries happen to teams in your division, and boom, just like that, you're right in the money. And again,
Joe Burrow goes down.
Right.
Lamar Jackson goes down.
You never know. Yep. I mean, that's it. All it takes is one, and all of a sudden you go from being that Super Bowl contender to being a pretender. That's it.
All I've got to say is, if Lamar Jackson were to go down, I feel good for the Baltimore Ravens because they have Cooper Rush as their backup quarterback. And we saw how good Cooper Rush was with the Dallas Cowboys.
He's a good backup.
So, I mean, he's clearly not going to be as dynamic.
Yeah, no. But you have to like your backup. You have to like your options.
Yeah. Good.
You do.
Good deal for them. So I guess that's kind of one of the insurances. If Lamar has to miss a couple of games, Cooper Rush we've seen can go in and continue doing what the offense needs to do to make them a good team. The thing to me is Cincinnati dealt with a lot of injuries last year. Cincinnati, I think they're going to be a horrendous defensive team this year. But they have, once again, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins. They've got Jamar Chase. They've got a good run game. They invested in the offensive line. They're going to be phenomenal offensively. And we saw the way they ended the season last year. They were on fire. The season's a game longer. They're making the playoffs, right?
Oh, no doubt.
Especially with how horrid their start was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
They're a team that I feel like you can't just discount right now. And for me, the Pittsburgh Steelers, like best case scenario, I feel like they're a wild card team, like the last wild card team in, just because best case scenario for the Ravens, best case scenario for the Bengals is those are Super Bowl contenders. The Steelers are not that.
No, I mean, like I said, I certainly, going into the season, don't think that they're going to be that contender per se. But again, I do think they have enough weapons to at least be relevant throughout the year, and maybe you get in. I mean, that's you never
get to
know.
the dance.
Yeah, I mean, that's all. I mean, I do feel that they have enough from last season, and they've made good additions this year. And I think when you're coached by Tomlin, then anything can happen.
With all the things that we've seen in free agency and the NFL draft and all that stuff, is there a team out there that you're saying, look, I think this team's going to be better than what most people have them predicted to be?
It's always so hard to say in the preseason to think, what type of pickups these teams made in the offseason. I don't know that I could think of one team per se. I will say maybe San Diego. I think the Chargers, they've really beefed up their ground game. And in the draft, McConkey's going to have a great sophomore season. I feel that that's a team on the rise. So, I mean, I feel that they've done enough to where.
But look at that division they're in.
It's a brutal division, but still, nevertheless, I feel that I think the Chiefs may take a step back. I don't know. And I know that's hard to say, but there's only so long you can be great for. I mean, we obviously know the situation where Mahomes is great, but he hasn't been as great as of late. Let's say, aging players,
Yeah,
running game. Yeah.
But here's the thing with Patrick Mahomes, the one thing he truly needed was a strong offensive line. If he doesn't have that, how can he be any better?
And we saw the Kansas City Chiefs trade away one all-pro offensive lineman Joe Tooney. He's now in Chicago with your Bears, and I think the Bears are going to be really good this year. But
I agree.
We can say this though: for the last couple of seasons, it felt like we've written off the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sure.
And the last 4 seasons, they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no. I mean, you could try writing them off. Kelsey could be as old as could be, and it doesn't matter. Again, when you're that well coached by Andy Reid and the people he has around him, anything is possible. And they're still going to be the creme de la creme. I just feel that if I look at LA, San Diego, I think they're going to be one of those up and coming teams this year that I'm not going to say, hey, watch out for them, but I am going to say that to me, they're a playoff team.
You see, I'm sticking with that division as well because I think the exact same way with the Denver Broncos. I like what the Broncos did, adding a lot of depth on the defensive end. On the defensive side of the ball, rather, not the defensive end, but on the defensive side of the ball, I like Bo Nix.
I do too.
I think Bo Nix is
very good.
Going to be a really good quarterback.
He's going to be a stud.
And just to see what Denver's going to do, and like I agree with you, I think Kansas City is going to take a step back. I also would not be surprised to see them in the Super Bowl again because they're the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, and it'd be great to see another team. For me, it'd be great to see like Buffalo finally get over the hump. A team that's
I want them to be as sad as possible. So
they look. If it all goes as scheduled, come January, they're going to be sad, right? Because they can't seem to beat Kansas City for some reason. They have their number, but to me, Josh Allen is as good as it gets. So I mean,
would you say the Bills have the most pressure on them in the AFC to make it to a Super Bowl? Because I think that's got to be split between them and Buffalo and Baltimore.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's they're 1 and 1A in that respect because they have both underachieved tremendously the last couple of years. And I mean, just when you thought it was Buffalo's time a couple of years ago, they shit the bed in overtime. Then they changed the overtime rules. Good, finally, right? Because of that stupid friggin' game. But Baltimore, very disappointing, especially last year. Or no, was it the year before where they were the number 1 seed and they got knocked off in the AFC title game at home? Very disappointing. Very disappointing. They're another team that just for the life of them, they can't beat Kansas City.
And I think that's going to be the thing, right? If there was a time to beat Kansas City, it's now. Because we know Kansas City is going to be retooling. They're going to be getting better. I also have to keep in mind that Kansas City had a bunch of guys that were injured as wide receivers last year. So they're getting those guys back this year, like with Ray Rice, with Xavier Worthy, and guys like that. So they're going to have their full complement maybe to at least start this season of their wide receivers. It's Baltimore and Buffalo, like you said. They felt like they've underachieved. I'm putting Cincinnati in there as well.
I like Cincy. I think Cincy's great. I mean, people forget often this is a team just a couple years removed from a Super Bowl appearance. And Joe Burrow, what a season last year. Jamar Chase, what a season. They got that studded running back. I love that kid. Great offensive line. They have a lot of weapons there. Honestly, again, would not be surprised to see them make a very deep run this year as well, Cincy.
Would you say the AFC is more wide open than the NFC? Or do you think the NFC is a little more wide open? Because even whenever I look at the NFC, I look at Philadelphia. Sorry, Dave.
That's okay.
They lost a ton of players on the defensive side, like especially on that defensive line. That was their strength last year, is that they can just come at you in that defensive line wave after wave. They lost a ton on that. They lost Darius Slay. They lost a lot of intricate parts along that defense. I think that was what the real calling card was, because if you got a lead, you can lean on Saquon, give him the ball. But that defense wasn't going to give up any points because they can just pin their ears back, go right after the quarterback. Outside of Philadelphia, who I would still say you got to be the man, you got to beat the man. Philadelphia's the man right now.
Yeah.
Outside of Philadelphia, I look at the NFC and I'm like, it's question marks all over the place.
Well, there's a lot of questions. There's way too many question marks. I mean,
and even with Philadelphia, there's question.
I mean, clearly the AFC is definitely more wide open in my opinion, even with Kansas City. But I mean, the NFC, it's to me, it's like there's not a lot of strengths. I still think Philly is going to be tough, really, really tough this year. I think Washington's going to be really good.
You see, I think Washington's taking a big
Yeah,
step
I don't
back.
think they're going to take the step back. I think that they're going to be really good.
I
I like that.
out of their how many games they won? 11 games last year or 12?
Was it 12? No.
Well,
I thought it was more like 10 games, but I could be wrong.
Well, then this is going to be an even worse stat. They had 8 wins by 1 possession games.
Yes.
Right? They had that Hail Mary. If not for that Hail Mary, they're not even a playoff team.
Yeah.
Right? Like that, they got hot at the right time. They had a matchup that worked in their favor against the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff isn't going to throw 4 interceptions in a game again. We know he's one of the quarterbacks that takes care of the ball a lot more, learns from his mistakes. It felt like they just got hot at the right time. They ran into a team like Philadelphia and got exposed. Let's not forget how boring that NFC Championship game was because it was so lopsided with Philadelphia's dominance, just like in the Super Bowl, right? I feel like because the NFL works this way, you have your ebbs and your flows, your ups and your downs. Whenever you win a lot of those one-possession games, the following year you lose a lot of those one-possession games. Jaden Daniels is going to have his sophomore season. We always see a sophomore slump with every quarterback in the NFL. So what is his season going to be like? Like, sure, they got Terry McLaurin. Sure, they have Brian Robinson as running back. They brought in Deebo Samuel. What version of Deebo Samuel are you going to get? And let's not forget, Terry McLaurin's not happy with that team right now. He wants a new contract and has been threatening, holding out, and doing all that other stuff. He misses any amount of time for that team. That's a pretty basic one-dimensional team.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear you. I feel that, with their quarterback, I feel that and of course, again, I love Quinn. I think he's a great coach. Ultimately, to me, that's a team on the up and up. And I know that things change fast. Things change fast, especially in the NFL. But as far as I'm concerned, I like Washington. I think they're going to be great this next year. And I mean, again, any other, we talked about Chicago should be improved. Certainly Minnesota, they have a lot to look forward to. I think Aaron Jones is going to have another good year. I think quarterback-wise, they're going to be all right. McCarthy, obviously hasn't proven himself.
You got Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, and he hasn't proven himself, but he's a rookie. He's technically not a rookie, but he is a rookie. But, I mean, if you look at anybody that should really be the team, it's Detroit. Detroit was the two disheartening losses in the last couple of years, but Detroit's still really strong.
It's so weird to say that Detroit has that pressure on them, right? Because we're not used to Detroit being there. And I don't know, and I kind of referred to this last year as well whenever they lost, is welcome to what it's like to have expectations, the weight of expectations. You got 2 years now. 1 year you exceeded expectations, and next year you let those expectations down. What's it going to be like this year? You lost your offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. He's now in Chicago. You lose Aaron Glenn. He's the head coach for the New York Jets right now. You didn't lose a whole bunch as far as players go on defense, but Alex Anzalone, not happy with his contract, wants a new contract. You're starting to come up against one of those things that good teams always get, which is trying to navigate the salary cap while also navigating what the expectations are. I didn't even think about Detroit. That shows you how used to not thinking about Detroit we are in the past, right? I'd say out of all the teams that are there, like you got to put Detroit up there with Buffalo, with Baltimore, based on just how dominant they've been the last couple of years.
They've been great. Unfortunately, it hasn't spilled over to that postseason success, but a couple of years ago was their best shot when they goofed in San Francisco.
They had a 17-point lead in that game, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
They blew everything in that game, and they stopped running the ball in the second half with 2 great running backs. And so, I mean, I think Detroit's pretty damn good. And I think that their ground game is tremendous.
Yeah.
Their ground game is really – you have 2 starting running backs, one of which could be the league leader in rushing this year. So, I mean, they're pretty damn good.
And you didn't even mention like Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Sam Laporta. They've have a great
quarterback too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Goff has proven to be great over there.
A great offensive line. Like the defense is going to be a little suspect. That's why I think they're going to be shaky. You mentioned the San Francisco 49ers. Michael Graham saying my 49ers will be shaky this season. We need to keep our team healthy. I think the 49ers, the Cardinals are in that division. So I feel like the Cardinals are going to be the worst in that division in the NFC West. I think this is going to be a bad year for the San Francisco 49ers. You lost a lot on the offensive line. You lost a lot defensively. You lost Deebo Samuel. I get it as Deebo Samuel. It's not like he was doing great for you anyway. Christian McCaffrey's always hurt. You got to rely on that guy being healthy now for the entirety of it. You lost your backup running back. Mitchell went to Kansas City. Like there's a lot of stuff there with San Francisco. I spent the offseason every Tuesday going over different divisions. Which team is going to win how many games, going over their schedule, all the stuff they did during the offseason, what they lost, what they gained, what they did with the NFL draft. I have the 49ers winning like 5 games this year. Like, I don't see them being a good team.
No, I mean, I don't think they're going to be great. I think McCaffrey is there saying, he looks good, blah, 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 but that doesn't mean anything. I mean,
he always looks good in the offseason. He always
looks great. I mean, it's what happens during the regular season. Can he actually stay healthy, or is he going to go back to doing what he does every year, and that's getting injured, for the most part? But, I don't have high expectations for the Niners. I really don't. I feel that they've had some key losses, and, I'd say 6 wins would be the cap for me with that team in general.
And that's wild, man, because we're talking about a team that was perennially in the NFC Championship, like a Super Bowl contending team. You talk about the window just slamming shut on them. Like, it felt like this offseason, that window shut.
Yes.
Tommy Carranza going on to say that the 49ers don't have any healthy wide receivers right now. Yeah. Pearsall's on the PUP list right now. I don't think he's going to be able to. Pearsall, I don't know if you remember him last year or not. He's the guy that got shot in the offseason and had to miss a couple of games. So now he's missing this training camp due to like other injuries and things like that. The 49ers, to me, like, it just feels like there's so many questions that surround that team.
Yeah, there's a million question marks with the 49ers, and 49ers fans, you can't have that much optimism. But, I mean, again, it's just kind of one of those things where even the sun shines on a dog's ass, right? You just
it's a cloudy day for them.
It is cloudy.
The sun ain't shining on that dog's ass. I know that much.
It's cloudy and overcast.
Michael Graham going on to say that the 49ers went through at least 5 running backs last season, 5 different starting running backs last season. Now, to me, even though I said it earlier, like, I feel like the NFC is wide open, right? Like, we got Philadelphia. We expect Philadelphia to be good. We expect Detroit to be good. I don't know that you can say either one of those teams are a clear Super Bowl contending team, just given what they've lost, right?
Here's my question. Why did Philadelphia give so much of its defense up?
Free agency. Like unfortunately for them, and again, like, trying to navigate between wanting to keep your team together and got to pay people, right? So Philadelphia, Milton Williams, is that his name? Milton? I can't remember what his last name is right now, but he went to he goes to the Patriots on an $81 million deal. Josh Sweat leaves. He goes to the Cardinals on a $60 million deal. The Philadelphia Eagles, the amount of money they gave Saquon, the amount of money they're paying Jalen Hurts, they weren't able to keep those guys. So that's the unfortunate part about it is once you sign people to those long-term deals and those deals start making more money annually, you're going to wind up losing a bunch of guys. And then it happens all the time with a Super Bowl winning team. Poachers, right? When the last time the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they lost their head coach. They lost a lot of stuff off that team. So, like, it's just part of what ultimately happens with the game. But I look at the NFC and I see the NFC East, I think, is going to be fun. You have legitimately 3 teams there that should be playoff contenders with Washington, Philadelphia, and Dallas. We're leaving the Giants out of this because I have them winning like 4 games this year, and that was me being generous to have them win 4 games this year.
Sure.
Then you look at the NFC North, and I think that's going to be the most fun division to watch in football.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting.
Because the Lions, I think, are going to take a step back. They're not winning 15 games this year. The Vikings are not going to win 14 games this year. The Packers could still win anywhere between 10 to 12 games. And Chicago is – I love what the Bears have done. Like, all the stuff they did in the offseason, addressing the offensive line, getting weapons for Caleb Williams to throw the ball to. They have Ben Johnson as their new head coach. They're going to establish a run. They got our guy, Deion Hankins. It's going to be one of their running backs in their mix doing all that type of stuff. I like what the Bears have done. And I look at all 4 teams in that division, and I would not be surprised if every single one of those teams has a winning record at the end of the year.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it could be one of those. I don't think you would see every team obviously make the postseason as an anomaly, but it's possible with the format the way it is, but not likely, obviously. But it's you got to look at, to me.
Are there 7 playoff?
Seven
playoff teams, right?
Four,
yeah.
So that would be 4 division winners, and all the other 3 teams would have to make the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be insane. Not out of the realm of possibility, but they're going to beat up on each other.
I need that chaos.
I
need to go into the last week of the season with just all the playoff scenario where every team from the NFC North could make it to the playoffs.
That'd be great.
I need that chaos in my life.
Everybody's going to be decent, though. I mean, I really do think. I think it's hard to say that Detroit's not going to win the division, and then the second team in that division, who the hell knows? I mean, it just Chicago. You can acquire all the talent in the world. Does it work? Do they all play together? Are you healthy? All the above. Minnesota has your new quarterback. You're gonna be able to keep that momentum going from last year. Green Bay, again, a lot of question marks in Green Bay. I mean, great quarterback, but do they have a lot of other weapons? You know what I mean? It just goes on and on and on. I think the weak link could be Green Bay, maybe Chicago.
To me, the weak link's Minnesota, and maybe it's just
they did great with
Sam Darnold.
And
that if you do great with Sam Darnold, you should be able to do great with
everybody. Really good with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So for me, maybe Kevin O'Connell's that guy, right? Like we always have that quarterback guru, that quarterback whisperer type coach. I don't know, man. Like it's never a good thing when you're playing musical quarterbacks. This is going to be the 3rd quarterback in 3 years for the Minnesota Vikings. Like that's not a recipe for success.
No.
And if it is, they're going to be a major outlier in the history of the NFL.
Sure.
So for me, Minnesota's a weak link in that division. I've got it Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota. That's the way I have that division ended.
Detroit. I don't necessarily disagree. I'd say Detroit, Chicago. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I could argue with that just because I do think that Chicago's going to make a lot of strides this year.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they don't pull it Chicago.
and you look at it, they were in a lot of games last year, despite having Matt Eberflus as their head coach, despite having all the issues they had, they were still in a ton of games last year. They were still, competitive. They were doing I don't understand people talking about how Jaden Daniels had such a better rookie season than Caleb Williams did. They have 500 passing yards to separate them, 4 touchdowns that separate them, and Jaden Daniels threw more interceptions than Caleb Williams did. So I don't understand how you're going to be like, it was exponentially better of a season whenever it's less than 1,000 yards difference in passing and 4 touchdowns. You know what I mean? So I like Caleb Williams as a quarterback there.
Yeah,
and now they've given him some weapons.
He's got a lot of weapons. And let's hope he can exploit those weapons because, I mean, when you have the talent, one thing is if you don't have the talent, you don't have the offensive line, and you get sacked a lot, you have no chance to throw the ball.
But they've invested in their offensive line.
Yeah, and then, of course, the other big question mark is we talked about our boy Hankins, but running back, because Swift had a terrible year, really. He averaged under 4 yards per carry. To me, his job is in jeopardy. If he starts off slow, you're going to see those other abundance of running backs come in and it becomes a running back by committee because you got to perform as their running back. You got to perform.
But we've seen that be successful. Like, look at the Kansas City Chiefs whenever they won their first couple of Super Bowls, which is, again, just an insane thing to say. When they won their first couple of Super Bowls over the last 5 years, they had a running back by committee. What was it? Last year was the first time that Isaiah Pacheco was the guy.
Yeah, and then he goes down early in the year, and that's that. And then they.
So, it's not unprecedented, is what I'm saying. Like, you can have success as having a running back by committee, and that's kind of the way that the NFL is working now anyway. Like you normally have 2 or 3 running backs that you rely on a lot throughout the season. And I feel like Chicago, especially with Ben Johnson having – this is the thing that people don't realize with Detroit having the great offense they did. That was a run-first offense. Mm-hmm. And Ben Johnson's going to have a run-first team. So I feel like they're going to find a way to establish a run, especially with the long list of running backs they have.
Oh, I mean, they have a lot of running backs. And they have a lot of depth. They have a lot of talent. And, of course, a great offensive line can even make an average running back look incredible. So You just never know. They create the holes for you when you're semi-fast. Watch out.
So we didn't really spend a whole lot of time talking about the NFC East. I have it Philadelphia, Dallas, Washington, and then the Giants just way down in the bottom because they're the Giants. I also wouldn't be surprised if any one of those 3 teams won the division. Like if Dallas won the division, I wouldn't be shocked. Again, I think I'm the only person that says this. We came into last season with the Dallas Cowboys as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. They kept the team. They had injuries. They had a whole bunch of stuff. But for the most part, they kept that team together. I feel like they got better over the offseason with the additions they made in free agency and through the NFL draft. They've addressed what they needed to address. I can see the Dallas Cowboys winning that division. But I can also see Philadelphia winning that division. I can also see Washington, even though I think they're going to take a step back, possibly winning that division as well. I feel like the NFC North and the NFC East are basically the Spider-Man meme pointing at one another because they are going to be super competitive. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you need the NFC East to be competitive because that's what makes football fun for a lot of areas.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, that's the NFC East. That's the challenging division. It's been so great. No team has repeated as divisional champions for years. I mean, we look forward to that.
How long has it been? 18 years?
18, yeah.
That's wild.
Pushing 20. But, I mean, this could be that year where, Philadelphia repeats. But we're obviously hoping to see Dallas make some strides and do much better. And
we are.
Yeah, everyone else doesn't give two craps.
And here's the thing, even when Dallas was doing poorly, they had star talent. I mean, and I'm not just talking about Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. I'm talking about CeeDee Turpin, who could turn a return kick into gold, who has also became a great receiver. And, of course, their kicker who was taken for granted. 60 yards, he'll make that field goal, no problem.
Yeah. Anytime you normalize a kicker making a 60-yard field goal, that's a weird world that we live in. But you also forget they brought in a number one wide receiver type of guy in George Pickens. And addressing the offensive line, this is the thing that happened with the Dallas Cowboys last year. Dak Prescott goes down. They had a revolving door along the offensive line. Right. They had a revolving door along the defensive line. They bring in a bunch of defensive help now along the defensive line. They bring in some depth on the offensive line. Their defense was never fully healthy. And it's the NFL. You're never going to have a fully healthy defense. But at one point in time, the Dallas Cowboys played 5 games with 22 people on the IR.
Wow.
That's not a recipe for success.
Hell no.
So for me, that's going to be another anomaly type thing, right? You're not going to have 22 people on the IR at one time. So I feel like the Dallas Cowboys come back. They're going to make it better. We've always seen this with Dak Prescott as well. Whenever Dak Prescott's hurt, he comes back the next year. He puts together an MVP caliber season. So for me, I've got high hopes for Dallas, but I also feel like I shouldn't.
Well, you probably shouldn't. You'll break your heart every single freaking time.
Yeah.
You know the way it is with them. Don't.
I hate that I love that team.
Yeah, you and me both. Line forms to the left. I can't stand them.
Okay, so how do you have that division lining up then? Because like I said, I got Philadelphia, Dallas, Washington, and I'm not confident in that at all.
I have Philly, Washington, Dallas, New York.
We can all agree New York's going to be the worst team of that division.
Yeah, no doubt. But I think that Washington will finish second or surprise us and win the division. You know what?
That would be wild.
The hell with it. Washington, Philly, Dallas, New York.
Wow.
Yep, wow. That's what I'm going to do.
He is smug right now. I have not seen this kind of confidence out of Brandon the Iceman Cohn in a while.
Because no team can repeat.
They can't.
And if there's any team that could win that division, it's Washington.
I think
they're going to do well this year. I really believe in the Washington. Oh, I almost said it. Commanders. But you listen to Trump. They should be the Redskins.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. I'm not going to give them a new stadium until they change their name back.
And they don't have to drink Gatorade. They should be drinking Coke with cane sugar.
I'm going to sue you.
Did we just hear David do Trump?
It was a good Trump. That was a great Trump. Tommy can also throw in tomatoes at us because we're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. Michael Graham going on to say, I take Philly, Washington over Dallas. Of course you do. You're a Dallas Cowboys hater. I know that you're a Dallas Cowboys hater. Let's look at the NFC South. New Orleans is going to be bad. I think Carolina could be better, but that's still like saying, look, that turd is not a turd anymore, right? Like it's a turd sandwich, just not soggy. Like it's But I think the division is going to come down to 2 teams. I don't think either team has to have a winning record to win the division with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and with the Atlanta Falcons. I like Atlanta. I want to see what they can do with Michael Penix Jr. as the full-time starting quarterback now. You've got Drake London. You've got Kyle Pitts. You've got Bijan Robinson. You have a pretty solid offensive line. You have a pretty solid defense. Tampa Bay, you got Baker Mayfield. You got Mike Evans, and then it's just a bunch of question marks. Bucky Irvin is a pretty solid running back, I guess we've seen.
I like him.
But the rest of it is a bunch of question marks down in Tampa Bay. And again, I think you can win that division being 8-9. So I'm going to go Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Carolina, New Orleans, just because New Orleans is the soggy shit sandwich, and Carolina is the shit sandwich that's just not as soggy.
Yeah, they're both bad. They'll finish 3-4 in the division. I mean, yeah, in the respect that it's. I don't know that how much faith I have. I'm going to flip it though. I like Baker Mayfield. I like Tampa Bay. I like the way they finished last year. I think he has really found his niche in Tampa.
Yeah,
and I think Bucky Irving is a legit threat to be a good running back. Obviously, Godwin's coming back. I don't know how long it's going to take from the Achilles, but they have an abundance of weapons, a plethora of weapons there. I think Tampa Bay wins that division. I think Tampa wins the division. We already agreed that third and fourth. Let's see. I have last. Let me think about this for a minute.
It's got to be New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah.
Like,
Third's going to be Carolina.
Spencer Rattler's their starting quarterback right now.
Yeah. I mean, and of course that sucks for them.
That's a great name.
That's a great name, but it's not good for being a good quarterback, right?
No.
I mean, I think I have Tampa. I'm gonna flip flop on that. I think Tampa wins that division.
Okay, and now we go to the NFC West. Again, I feel like it's a very predictable division. I think Sam Darnold's season last year, being a Pro Bowler, is an outlier. I don't know if you could put a lot of stake in him. You've seen a lot of turnover in Seattle. Like now, instead of having DK Metcalf there, you're going off of Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's going to be your number one wide receiver option there. You brought in Cooper Kupp, so maybe you got a little something there for you. I still think, looking at the LA Rams, that's the cream of the crop. You bring in Devontae Adams. You lose Cooper Kupp, you bring in Devontae Adams. I think that's a plus, right?
Very much so.
You got Matt Stafford there, clearly the best quarterback in the division whenever you look at Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, and Matt Stafford being the quarterback there. They've got, to me, it's the Rams division to win.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Rams division to lose, rather, than everyone else's.
It's a bad division. It's a bad division. LA, I mean, I feel that, you know what? It's funny because I personally think that I like their running game as well.
Mm.
And I feel that they have one of the top wide receivers in the league. I really do. And I think Nakua is amazing. Yep. Nakua is amazing. He's healthy. He's back. He's going to be a top 5 fantasy receiver this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you tell me who's going to beat him in that division. And not Arizona, that's for sure.
No, Arizona, San Francisco. Sorry, Mike. God, dude. Again, I feel like it comes down to two teams, and I don't trust Seattle because I don't trust Sam Darnold
at all.
Sam Darnold
Plus,
has a
I don't have
career.
Metcalf anymore.
Yeah, and I do like Jackson Smith-Njigba. Walker, I think he's okay.
Walker's a good running
Kenneth
back.
Walker, yeah, he's okay.
He's too injury prone though. He gets injured all the time.
And they've got their home field advantage. They got all that stuff, but I can't see one of those teams being better than the LA Rams.
No, LA, that's their division. That's their division. And let's face it, they're of all the teams, they came closest to beating Philly in the playoffs last year. They could have easily won that game, but it got away from them.
That was a snow game, right?
It was a snow game, divisional series, a divisional round, and they lost it within like the last 5 minutes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a fumbled snap or a fumbled punt or whatever, and boom, that was that. They squandered, but they could have won that game, could have, would have, should have, but they're a decent team. LA's a decent team.
So we agree on 2 division winners, which is the Lions and the Rams, and then we disagree on literally everything else.
What's new?
Washington being the division winner, though, that's a bold one, man. I'll give you that.
They momentum is a hell of a thing, and to me, it's nowhere but up for this team. They got a lot of potential. I mean, I know it's hard to replicate what you did last year, but I think they got a lot of talent. I think they're going to be good.
I'm going to take a page out of your book. I think a healthy Dallas Cowboys wins this division.
Are you nuts? I mean, sure, that'd be great, right? But Dallas is Dallas, man. Dallas is Dallas.
Michael Graham conceding, saying that his 49ers are not going to win the division. It will be the Rams division this year. And that's always one of the tough things to do as a fan, right? Is to like look back and be like, nah, another team's going to win that division because we're just not good enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is where I hate the roller coaster of being a Dallas Cowboys fan that comes in, is I can look at that team and say, there's a list miles long that I can make of excuses as why the Dallas Cowboys legitimately sucked ass last year.
Yeah.
And I look at that list and I say to myself, oh, we can't make any of those. Like, you take a couple of those things off the list, the Dallas Cowboys are a playoff contending team.
Yeah.
Now I've got them winning the division because I might be drunk and I haven't even drank any alcohol yet. And I'm drunk on the Dallas Cowboys and what this team can do, man. Like, a healthy Dallas Cowboys to me wins that division. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they wind up being the worst team in that division.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it could go either way, two extremes.
I don't think that there's a team that has a higher potential upside and a lower potential downside than the Dallas Cowboys. I think everyone else is pretty much in the middle.
Absolutely.
The Dallas Cowboys got peaks and valleys.
Peaks and valleys, booms or busts. It's, again, more pressure, whatever. I mean, it just, again, you get excited. I don't with them, unfortunately, because I know the way they are. And, you know, I mean,
you're a little more seasoned than me. So
I mean, I know them, and they have a very challenging schedule and this and that, but they're all excuses, man. They're all excuses in the end.
You should have seen how mad I made the internet at me by the other day saying that the Cowboys were going to go 17-0. I said it in jest, but the internet just came after me, man.
Let's see what happens on Thursday Night Football.
They call it AI for a reason. The intelligence is artificial.
There we go.
I mean, what are we, about a month and a few days away from the start of the season? So
7 weeks?
Is it 7 weeks?
6 weeks on Sunday, I guess.
Because the first preseason game's next Thursday, the 31st.
Looking forward to that.
The Hall of Fame game, yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know. Thank God. You can't say that again.
Michael Graham saying, get rid of Prescott. Ha ha, he chokes. Oh, I hate that I love this team. Like, I genuinely do. Like, I can see so much potential there. And then I look at the coaching staff, and I have to be reminded that Brian Schottenheimer is our head coach, and Matt Eberflus is our defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
and the last time we saw him, he got fired on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for the worst clock management we've ever seen. So that's the thing, is no matter how much talent you have, stupid is as stupid does.
How do you have 45 seconds and a timeout and still?
How do you say you have a well-run organization when you hire Tweedledee and Tweedledum as your head coach and defensive coordinator? But damn, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong.
You got a lot of history that backs you up.
I mean, it starts with them. It starts with the staff. It starts with the front office, and I don't know what to say.
What do you make of the saga that we're seeing right now of the Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons going back and forth at each other in the media about the contract that Micah Parsons wants, that Jerry Jones is seemingly not willing to give. He always gives. But it just feels like
more drama. It's good for an Academy Award.
It's last minute management.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's what he does, and that come the first game of the regular season or the last preseason game, he'll have what he wants. And I mean, he's a great defensive player. You need him. You're not going to be without him. So he knows he has all the leverage. He's not a schmuck.
Augustine Pimentel commented in saying, LOL, talking Cowboy stuff is awesome. Augustine also called me yesterday, said that he's doing a bad job as a father because his son is a Dallas Cowboys fan. And I said to him, you are doing a terrible job because my kids are also Cowboys fans.
Yes,
and I didn't want this life for them.
No. Luckily, my girls are Bears fans, and that's not much better.
I was about to say, how could you say luckily?
Well, the Cowboys.
Feels worse.
Yeah, it does, but oh well. Bear down. Bear down.
So I feel like you're going to sink into it this year because you're always on the fence about either team. I feel like this year is going to be a Brandon Cohn Bears year.
Oh, this could be the Bears year. It could be the year. Could be 85 again.
I don't know about that.
If you believe that, I got some great swampland to sell you.
Okay, Brandon. So anything that we haven't covered yet, I did want to talk a little bit about, as I see 47 on the TV right now, I did want to talk a little bit about the NIL issues that we're having in college football, but I feel like that's a conversation for another time. Anything that you had that you wanted to get off your chest as we have a couple minutes here?
I mean, I don't know about off my chest, but I feel that it's funny because I just want to kind of go back to my travels in the UK, and it was interesting talking to some of those blokes, as they call like a regular guy, picking up on my UK jargon about how us Americans obviously enjoy and love our football, but yet how it is gaining popularity in like London. They were saying how every year there seemed like there's a game in London, but I talked to so many people that it was like football is football, not what you knuckleheads and wankers, as they call the clowns, refer to as football. And when you travel abroad and you see these other sports and you see the perspectives of rugby and football and cricket, and it's like you see all the soccer stadiums, and you know how it is in England. I mean, God, you have a lot of good football over there, right? It was interesting. It was interesting. The soccer, yeah, that's what I meant, obviously. But I mean, it's like it was kind of cool. It was kind of enlightening as a sports fanatic to see that over there in the UK and to see how passionate those fans truly are about their athletics and what the world loves more than anything else.
Michael Graham saying we are all 49ers fans in this household. Tommy Cananza going on to say, my kids know they're Cowboys fans or they're homeless.
Oh, man.
And Augustine saying Yellowstone could blow too, talking about the Dallas Cowboys having the success in this upcoming season
could blow,
as well.
Yeah, one day it is going to.
One of these days, right there.
So
Augustine also going on to say, yeah, but poor English people have to root for the Jaguars. we said we wanted to introduce football to the world globally, and we sent them the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, here's the shittiest teams America has to offer. Cheers.
But they have such a dedicated. I don't know if I remember telling you this or not, but a couple of years ago, I actually got approved with a media credential to go to London to cover the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just could. They gave me like a week to try to get the funds to go.
I remember that. Yeah, you had asked me, you want to go? I was like, oh man, but yes, but no.
But they have, and what they were going to hook me up with was like this meet and greet with all these Jaguars diehards that live in London. They have a group of people who are London natives that host fans of the Jacksonville Jaguars because of how dedicated to the Jacksonville Jaguars they are.
Poor people.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
I mean, yeah, and like I said, London's crazy, man. I mean, it's a great city. It really is. Very interesting place, but you could even tell what amazing sports town as well, like anything else in England,
Augustine saying, and yes, the UK and footy is a different thing over there. Michael Graham saying NIL will continuously change the landscape of college sports. Just look at the leverage that Shamar Stewart has right now with the Cincinnati Bengals and like all the other things that are around there with him. Now, obviously, Brandon, we're up against the clock right now. We are over here at Buffalo Wild Wings. We have the all-you-can-eat apps, $9.99, $2.50 per person whenever you got over 4 people that arrive with you. So we got some great stuff there. You can choose between the mozzarella sticks, the chips and queso, the chips and salsa, the fried pickles. I'm missing one, but I mentioned it the other day.
The onion rings.
The onion rings, because I don't eat 2 out of those 5 I don't eat.
We do.
Yeah, you guys do.
He likes onion rings. I eat fried pickles.
Yeah, there you go. So we know we're going to be doing a little bit later on today. Obviously, 655 Sunland Park Drive, Buffalo Wild Wings. Go to the Buffalo Wild Wings in your city as well. Go support. Go get some of those all-you-can-eat apps.
That's a good deal, man.
It really is.
You can eat like a king. You can eat like a king for $10. That's not really heard of today.
And we've also learned that we do not eat wings the way that we thought we could.
Yes, we know we don't. We're actually big wussies when it comes to eating wings.
we stopped well short of what would have been the halfway point for some people. But nonetheless, we did it. We tried, and we did everything that we could. Augustine, our last comment of the day, saying London is great, Manchester is amazing, but Liverpool is the most awesome place ever.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to Manchester or Liverpool. I mean, but I can sure tell you that, yes, London is great. I mean, went Stonehenge, Salisbury, England. Southern England's charming, man. I mean, I haven't been to really Northern England, but yeah, go to England, everybody. The UK is wonderful. The people are wonderful, too. A lot of cool blokes.
I can't think of a better way to end the show than with you saying